Hey guys, how's it going? So if you've been following me recently or watching my videos, you may have seen a couple revolving around this guitar, or that involved it a little bit. What I'm working on here is a Telecaster. It's kind of designed to look like it was pulled out of a burning building, kind of a post-apocalyptic theme, if that makes sense. So this guitar is going to have a fairly unique wiring job. Well, there are a lot of unique things about it, but a friend of mine in Miami, I posted a couple videos where I had links to his channel because he's a guitar tech and he really knows what he's doing. And he wired up a custom pickguard for me, and I've gone and created a new pickguard that is the exact same, except it's made of rusted steel. So it's going to have, well, the conductivity of steel, which is going to help the electronics be well shielded, and it's going to look awesome with this. Anyway, he did some cool wiring for me, so now I'm going to put it into this guitar. But before I do, I have to shield the cavities so that the thing doesn't make a whole lot of noise. Hopefully you know how that works. Anyway, most guitars come with conductive paint in the cavities to shield them. That is okay, but not excellent. The best way to shield guitar cavities is with copper tape. So the goal is to have one continuous, conductively connected, well, that was a big alliteration, conductively connected area here throughout all the cavities so that the whole area is perfectly shielded. And like I said, copper tape is the best way to do that. So what I'm going to do now is a copper tape shielding job on this. Believe it or not, I learned this from my friend Troy in Miami, like I was talking about, the guitar tech guy. So if you really want to know how to do stuff like this, he's the best source that I've found. I've seen a few other people do it. But I'm going to post a link to his channel in the description, and you can check him out if you're interested in a more detailed look at this. He would also be more able to answer questions about it than I am. The plan here is to basically tape off all the insides so that they're completely covered in the copper tape. And then I'm just going to run I'm probably going to use guitar strings or something like that, some very thin conductive material, and solder that into the cavities to connect them. I'm also going to leave a little bit overhanging the edges of the cavities where the pickguard will sit on top of them. And that's going to allow the whole thing to become one continuous piece. So for starters here, what you're going to need is your copper tape. I've got a couple different thicknesses, or widths rather. I've got a couple different widths. They're both the same gauge or whatever you call that. A pair of scissors to cut them with. Hopefully these don't suck as bad as I'm afraid they might. And something to burnish the tape down with. You can use the end of a screwdriver. This is a little bit smaller. It'll help me get into the smaller areas. What this is just a little old wooden carving chisel that I'm going to use to press down the tape. So if you're using a plastic pickguard, you're also going to need to put this stuff on the back of that. I am using a steel one, so I'm not too concerned with that. So let's start on this. Cut a piece about the right size for the bottom of my mini humbucker cavity here. Peel the backing off and lay this in the bottom. That's about the right width too. I got kind of lucky with that. So now I've pushed it down with my finger, and I'm just going to burnish it into place with this guy. This also has a nice edge on it for me to push things into corners. So really it's actually a pretty effective tool for this. Make sure you take the time to really push this down. You don't want it coming up. Alright, so that fit in there nicely. I'm going to do the bottoms of the other cavities now, and then we'll come back and do the edges. Alright, so I've got the bottoms of all the cavities done. They're all shielded. Now it's time. I haven't gotten in here yet. Not that that's a huge deal, but I probably will anyway. But now it's time to do the edges. So the edges are pretty simple. It's helpful to have more than one width of tape. So I'm going to do the edges of the large control cavity with this thick stuff, and then I'm going to use just a little bit of the thin stuff to overhang the edge so I get a good conductive seal there, if you will. And then I believe the thinner tape, yep, is going to be sufficient for the rest. Make sure you know where your holes are from one cavity to the next. That's about it. So this one I'm just going to do it in a couple sections. You don't have to do it all in one piece. You can if you want. I find it more difficult to work with it that way. So use a couple sections here. And I'm going to make sure that it's touching the tape that's already in there. That is important. In fact, if you really want to go far with this shielding, what you're going to do is solder along the joints between the two pieces there so that they're connected to each other electronically. And for that to happen, you're going to definitely want them overlapping a little bit. Alright, so you want to get in like that. And shield the sides of your cavities. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up so it'll be easier for other people to find, and subscribe to stay up to date with all the cool projects I got coming out. Also, a big shout out to Sovereign King, who does the vast majority of the music for my channel, way better on guitar than I am, and to Troy from Noise Guitar Mods. I'll put the link in the description. The man is a great guitar tech, and he's taught me most of what I know about how the internals of these things work. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. See you next time.